Teaching number 231. My insightful gaze penetrates you, and I contemplate that you form a bouquet of flowers with your hearts to present to my divinity. I see your sufferings and relieve them with my fatherly caress, so that, encouraged by my word, you may become a strong people in trials. Whenever you have come to me to present your weaknesses or to ask me for help in the storms you are going through, whenever you have been in danger of falling under the weight of the cross and have sought me, I have freed you from your burden and from your pain, becoming strong spirits. So I told you, go ahead. Do not turn away your face, because your spirit will be filled with fear when contemplating its past. I come to lift you out of the abyss to take you to the port of salvation, which is where you are now savoring this bread. You have rested in my lap of peace. I have been a ray of light in the darkness of your existence to help you walk without stumbling. If these conduits or spokespersons through whom I communicate, were to speak for themselves, they would not be able to teach you the path of truth, but if their mouths shed words of light, it is because I communicate through their intellect and I have told you that I am the way. You have seen how many are surprised by these teachings and wonder if it is true that the Rabbi is the one who is speaking, and if it is true that the Word has returned to this world that crucified Jesus. You know that I promised you, and you know that I am forgiveness and that I am fulfilling my divine mission, raising the dead, healing the sick and giving light back to the blind. You know the reason for my return and the form in which I have come, but all this the world will discuss and many will doubt. I have told you why instead of looking for the wise man, the theologian or the scientist, I looked for the humble, the rude and simple to manifest myself through them, because the testimony of the humble will surprise the world. If you observe deeply, you will be convinced that at all times I have communicated with humanity through people, and they have always been humble and simple. I have granted you several existences on earth so that you may witness these manifestations and come to fulfill your mission. It is necessary that you take advantage of my teachings so that you can penetrate the secrets of the beyond, which the Father wishes to reveal to you. My Arcanum has not been hidden from your gaze, because otherwise you could never enter into eternal life. Study, analyze, because there are those who become confused thinking that if your spirit is a particle of my divinity, how is it possible that it suffers? And if the light of the Spirit is a spark of the light of the Holy Spirit, how can it be seen for moments wrapped in darkness? Recognize that this journey is to make sufficient merits before God, with which you can convert your spirit, from innocent and simple, into a great spirit of light at the right hand of the Father. Come to me and hear my word once again, which is sustenance for your spirit. This word that I have delivered to you through human understanding in this third era, has worked the miracle of unifying you, of lifting you full of determination and faith in my divinity, when it manifested itself, full of truth and teaching. Because your spirit felt tired of the terrestrial doctrines, your feet tired of walking the roads in search of peace, love and truth. Your hands were also tired from working the land, without ever harvesting a harvest that would satisfy your spirit. This was my will, O people, that you walk the paths, that you taste the fruits, that you knock on different doors, and that you know the hearts of people of different races and lineages, that you extract from the content of the books the different philosophies, doctrines and theories, that you would come to know the humble life of earth with all its misery and pain. That you know of the false opulence of this world with its pleasures and its deceitful greatness, that you listen to the voice of men and know their inspiration, that you collect the good and the bad that they have offered you through the ages, so that after this day, you would come to find me as the last one who arrives at the doors of your heart, as the last one who crosses your path, the last of the pilgrims who passes by your side and asks you, "Where are you going? Where do you come from and what are you looking for?" And then you, without arrogance and without greatness, bowed down by pain and strengthened by experience, enlightened and tempered by the struggle, instantly recognize me, open your heart to me, confessing your smallness, showing me that only I can understand your pain, your failures and also your desires. This is the reason why most of you who come to me, listening to my words, feel captivated by this essence, feel that I look deep into their hearts and experience my love that surrounds them. And it is that you were waiting for me, you knew that after the great struggles, the great battles of existence, after that dark night in which you have lived, the light of a new day would emerge. You knew that after draining your chalice of bitterness to the dregs, someone would come who would fill it with sweetness, because the hope, the trust in my promises that I made to you in other times, had not been extinguished in your spirit, the flame had been preserved in your heart, and even those who have denied that it is I who communicates at this time, they have done so with their spirit but with their matter, ignorant and insensitive to spiritual manifestations, which does not know about me. But I, who knows everyone, have given those unbelievers, the obstinate, more time, because I know that it is not their spirit that denies me, and full of my light they must rise up and free themselves from the chains of their own binding, so that you can look at me and feel me, and exclaim like Peter, in the second era, truly, you are the Son of the living God. I am turning you from infants into disciples, for after you have heard me, I will entrust you with a book of wisdom, so that with it you may teach your brothers and sisters and bring the good news to the inhabitants of your nation and then to other nations. If you have learned from me, then you will be meek and humble, you will not limit yourselves to merely analyzing my word, nor to speaking eloquently to impress the multitudes, but rather your inspirations and analyses, your clear and profound words, will be confirmed by deeds that will be the fruit of your understanding. I do not want these deeds to spring only from your understanding, but rather to be dictated by your conscience to your heart, which is where the seed of love is sown. Then yes, you will be able to convert humanity, because after finding yourself weary of empty words, sick and tired by the falsehood of the various doctrines and ideas, you will look for a teaching that speaks to you of true love, charity and peace, that shines light into the darkness and pours balm where there is pain, that transforms those who carry spiritual or moral degeneration in their beings. Then if my doctrine will triumph, the number of those who continue to carry their banner of peace, union and good shall increase. I want you to take advantage of this time properly, so that the Spirit teaches and stimulates its bodily envelope, that it bends it and turns it into its own instrument, its humble servant, so that it is not the flesh that comes to render me the worship that the Spirit should offer me, that it does not stand between your spirit and mine, because then the purification will be continuous and what matter feels will reach the spirit, because the body does not know how to overcome pain and weaknesses. Spiritualize yourselves without falling into fanaticism and you will see how much peace you will experience, how much strength you will impart to your heart and how strong you will be in the face of the threats of pain, old age and illness. This is my teaching. Who among you fails to understand it? It is clear as daylight and that light you can all see. I am giving you this lesson so that you can indelibly engrave it on your spirit, because it will give you strength tomorrow, when the trials close in on you. On this earth there has always been the struggle amongst humanity, the war, the discussion, the division. From the earliest times, the ideas of some have always risen up against those of others, and so you see that against virtue, evil has risen, before justice, injustice, before the voice of the Spirit, that of the flesh, against one form of knowledge, yet another. And those who have propagated my spiritual doctrine from the earliest times, have found the people of science to be adversaries. Now in this third era I see that these struggles among humanity continue, but the day has come when I say the last word. All wisdom, knowledge or science has sprung from me. I prepared this planet to be the home of embodied spirits, and before sending you I prepared this world with grace, love and wisdom. I placed within its depths, on the surface, in everything, the necessary elements for your life, for the preservation, pleasure and satisfaction of my children. So that you discover in the bosom of this nature all the sources of life, everything that was wrapped in mystery or kept in a deep arcana. I gave you talent, I enlightened you and I gave you the gift of science, so that through that talent and according to your needs, evolution and trials, you could be the inexhaustible source of life and wisdom. You have all enjoyed this gift of science, but I have chosen some to give a great missions, so that they discover everything that is good for the spirit and then offer you the inexhaustible water of that source and help you in your life and earthly happiness. To those chosen ones I also entrusted the intuition of the spiritual life, of that which is beyond the sciences, above this terrestrial nature, and for this reason, from the earliest times, humanity has worshipped me and has sensed the existence of a universal being, of a powerful, omnipotent and creator God, who has reserved for you an elevated life, which is beyond this world, a life in which conscience, love, light and reason will shine, because all this is part of your spirit. And although you all have that intuition that speaks to you incessantly about these faculties, it was necessary for me to send among you spirits of great power so that they would come to reveal the greatest mysteries to you, that they open a gateway to the spirits and lead them to me through the shortest and most certain paths. They are the prophets, the patriarchs and the envoys of all time. Behold, some bringing the mission of giving light to the spirits and others of making science known, have risen up against each other through the ages, without thinking that they are not opposing missions, but that both are complements of each other. My light has been shed on all beings so that you understand your mission and respectfully take the part that corresponds to you. If you have heard me censure the work of scientists, that I criticize science, it is because some have not used that source of life, those revelations that I have given them for the good and advancement of humanity, but have instead placed them at the service of evil and destruction. But all those who have fulfilled their mission, who have penetrated with humility, elevation, and respect to discover what has been my will to reveal to them, upon them I have poured myself out, I have been pleased, and see how many benevolent works they have performed. Your material life has evolved, you are no longer the same as in times past, and as your steps have been taking you along the path of evolution, you have found the fruits of science granted to all those who have fulfilled their mission. To those who have mistaken my mandate and penetrated my arcana to discover the mysteries of nature, and who have taken the force of the elements only to use them for works of destruction and death, I censure them and I call on them, because I have come to order and direct all the elements, and everything must be restored and returned to its place. A time will come when humanity will know how to discern the divine light, the wisdom permitted by me, and will come to recognize that I am the source from which all that nature has sprouted, that in me are found the seed and the fruit, and that I have participated in all of this so that you lead a life worthy of your spirit and of my divinity. And it is in that time of spirituality, which I now announce to you, in which men will put their mental strength at the service of the spirit, and science itself will bow before its light. When that day came, you are preparing the way so that humanity can reach that goal, because the work that I have entrusted to you has a universal mission. People, without straying from their duties, from their missions in the world, will put their science, their strength, their talent and their hearts at the service of my divine cause. They will look for healthy pleasures, those that are healthy for their spirit and their matter. They will fight for their regeneration and for their freedom, they will not contaminate themselves, they will not take what they do not need. It will be then when wickedness and frivolity will disappear from the earth, then the spirit will have achieved absolute dominion over its envelope, and while still inhabiting matter, it will lead a spiritual life of love, brotherhood and peace. That will be the time when wars will disappear, when there is respect and charity for each other, when you recognize that you can no longer dispose of the life of a fellow man, nor of your own, then you will know that you are not the owners of your life, nor of that of your children and spouses, nor of this earth, but that I am the owner of all creation. But since you are my very beloved children, you are also possessors of all that is mine. And being the owner and possessor of everything created, I am incapable of killing my children, of injuring or causing pain to anyone. Why, then, have those who are not masters of life taken what is not theirs to dispose of it? When this teaching is understood by mankind, they will have climbed in their spiritual evolution and this world will be a home of advanced spirits. You do not know if after this time you will return to inhabit this planet. I will point out those who will see those times of grace, those who will come to contemplate this valley that in another age was a valley of tears, destruction and death. Those seas, mountains and fields that witnessed so much pain, will later be converted into a dwelling place of peace, into an image of the beyond. I have announced to you that when the struggles cease, my kingdom will be close to you and that your spirit will flourish in virtues. My doctrine will be present in all spirits and through men and women I will manifest myself. Spiritual gifts will develop, the gift of speech, of healing and of communication from spirit to spirit will become amazing in the people of those times. Science will not stop in its path, and the scientists will penetrate my doctrine to study it and will be amazed at my revelations, and be inspired by them. They will do charitable works that will lead to advancement and progress, not only for humanity, but also for the spirits of humanity, both embodied and disembodied. If in times past and present my spirit has rejoiced in contemplating the works of my children, whether spiritual or material, beautiful works that have sprung from the heart, from sensitivity, or from intelligence, how great will be my joy when it is not just a few who find their spirit elevated, but all of humanity that is practicing love. Then there will no longer be tears, mourning, or orphanhood in homes because of wars, and only faith, health, strength, and harmony will persist in the lives of human beings in those times of bliss reserved for this planet. You are the first generations that have received the good news of this third era, and you must be the ones who prepare the way for all those who will come after you. Level the steep abysses, move the stones out of the way so that you leave goodwill, strength, good principles as an inheritance. You are not the ones who are going to bring my work to its culmination. The one who is to unify the people of Israel is not among you. You will not contemplate the establishment of my doctrine throughout the world in the material. I will do that work, because if someone were to rise up among you to bend the reluctant necks of my people and achieve their unification, that person would exalt himself or not be able to endure the trials that would come upon him. But I, the strong one, who loves and forgives, will unite you one with another. Test after test I will send you, so that they polish you and unite you in the same spiritual ideal. I do not want my people to prepare a new cross, a gallows, or a tribunal for me. I want to dwell in their inner sanctuary, I want to occupy my throne in the spirits of my people, to communicate with them at every moment and await them in my eternal home, on my universal throne of humility, on my seat as a loving Father, when all of you, full of merits, fulfillment, strengthened by the struggle and refined by virtue, come to me, with dignity, to receive your reward. My peace be with you.